the team was an awkward type of jump anyway. The dummy up the front didn't sort of go to plan, just over the top and through the fingers of Noche.
So the referee will have marked Gogilashvili's card. So pressure on the Georgian scrum here. And that's the try line in the background. Georgia getting down low.
Stay.
Clean hook.
Play on.
And scrum half is in trouble here. Aprazidze and South Africa turned it over.
Number 9.
They're lucky to get away with that. Georgia. Aprazidze left it out there for a long time. See, they're actually looking up. It's opposite. Left the ball exposed, and he did well to get that ball back, to be fair. Good pressure from Berger, his opposite.
Aprazidze plays his rugby these days for Terranua College in Dublin. He's had a good season with the Irish outfit. Played in all Georgia's games in the 2017 World Cup, and he's still only 18 years of age.
Well, Georgia going to the short line out already, trying to change it up. A lot of runners in the back line.
Deep breath there from Lewan Papidze. And a clean take from Tornika Yalahonia. Didn't quite go off. The intent was there, good intent.
I don't know if this come off his hand or his knee. Aprazidze, nice line out, well executed. Players on the outside, the chip and chase now just here. Oh yeah. It's the outside runner. Just knocking it on, just caught in two minds, weren't they?
Put his hands in the fire there, didn't he, and thought better of it.
He's a big unit too. Lads at the number 8. Jeez. You wouldn't want to be fullback if he's running at you.
Arsen Machaladze, 1.90 meters.
Great attacking opportunity here for the Springbok team. Now options both ways. They've got 4 to the left-hand side. Lombard's directly behind the scrum, so he can pick his way that he wants to go.
So Georgians counting the numbers as Berger goes and feigns a pass to Willemse. Berger again. Steenkamp. He's the open, well no, he's the blind side, because in South Africa, of course, the blind side wears 7. All good hands out from Pretorius. Lovely pass back inside. And this is the opening score in the 2018 Under-20s Championship, claimed by the number 13, Wandisile Simelane.
Oh, beautiful play from this South African team, using their big boys in the middle of the park. But I like the way they spread this ball. It was a behind ball, a missed pass. And look at this last distribution right there over the top, taking out 2 defenders. Injazula it was, giving it to his outside centre. This will be a beautiful shot of it. Look at that there. Perfect timing, perfect pass, and a perfect finish.
Lovely step from Wandisile Simelane. Scored 2 tries against Georgia in the 38-14 victory 12 months ago. Loves scoring tries, does the Springbok number 13.
Love the ball movement though, into space, not having to engage in contact, running into holes, letting the ball do the work.
So Willemse, some 10 meters in from the far touchline, 2 or 3 meters outside the Georgian 22. Steadies himself. If there is a breeze, it favours the junior Springboks in this opening 40. It was well struck, but wide of the mark. So 11 minutes of play. Junior Springboks lead Georgia by 5-0.
Yeah, Lombard in the front. Ryan, it was a difficult ball for Pretorius, the outside centre. That money pass right there from the left-hand winger into Zula was the nice one. Really put his outside centre away, Similane. Nice try.
So virtually all the play has been in the Georgian half in the opening 11 minutes or so. And that try from Similane will steady the nerves. Taken in by Nortje. The lock forward for South Africa. Standing at 2 meters tall. The Blue Bulls representative. Georgian forwards look to get in amongst their opposite numbers. Berger hoists the high one. Mid-air collision, ball lost forward by Tyrone Green. So referee Kerr waiting for a Georgian advantage. The Springboks in a well-disciplined defensive line across the field. As it's taken up again by Becker Saginadze. Up from fullback. That's Mamukashvili. Still advantage from a knock-on here. Now then, here's a half chance for Georgia. It's taken up by Sandro Swanidze. 5 meters short of the Springboks try line. Can they get it away? Slow ball. And South Africa, well, they have regrouped, and it'll be the forwards to take it up again. What a break that was from Swanidze. And this is where we'll see the power of the Georgians driving forward. Still advantage here. Another penalty against South Africa for offside. So can Georgia get their opening score here? It's not going to go far, that's for sure. This time perhaps Abzandadze! Lovely poke through. And Lasse Lomidze claims the try. A well-worked try. The power of that forward eight once again. And look what it means for the Georgians.
And what about that option with the kick through for Abzandadze? Well done by the number 10. Here's the initial break out the back door. It's actually the try scorer who makes the initial bust by Lomidze. Gives it out to his outside centre, who did extremely well. Ran for an age too to Swanidze. They set it up nicely. And what I like about this part, they kept their composure. There's the little nudge in behind the head. Players coming through. And he puts it down. Nice score.
Lovely bit of skill there from the Georgian outside half. And this is the man that started it all, Lasse Lomidze. And Georgia are back on terms. They could take the lead here. The simplest of conversions for Gela Aprazidze. And Georgia leads South Africa by 7-5, having soaked up the pressure for the greater part of the opening 15 minutes, Carl.
Yeah, a couple of nice strong runs initially from their forwards. Here's just the back end of it, the nice little bit of skill with the kick in behind and the put down as well. And that's what it means to them. They don't look intimidated. That's the thing for me when this Georgian side.
There are good things happening in Georgian rugby at the moment. And there is a clamour, of course, for them to be included in the Northern Hemisphere Six Nations. They can only do their talking on the field, and certainly these youngsters have done just that with a well-taken try by Lomidze, the inside centre. Aprazidze hoists the high one. Lombard safely gathers under the high ball, challenged by Saginadze.
There's the mistake there from Sandy.
Yeah, number five.
Coming to first receiver, just took his eyes off the ball for a moment. It was a nice take by Lombard.
Number 5, on rack, yes, fully bind, please. On rack, on kick, fully bind. Okay, sir.
They're just saying need to be fully bound on the ruck. You can't just have your arm, you have to have your whole shoulder as part of that ruck now.
Red.
Well, the coaches of Georgia will be well pleased with the opening 15 minutes or so. Ilya Maishuradze, he's the head coach, played some 21 times for Georgia.
Clutch! Bye!
Now the South African defence have to be on the lookout for Abzan Dadzas. The first fight's kick game now, so they have to hedge their bets.
And the Georgian backs on tippy toes. Great drive, a powerful drive, and brings its reward for that forward effort.
We spoke about the kicking abilities of the standoff for Georgia. Do you take the points, or do they go to the corner, to the line out, taps on the back for the front row? Look at that there, just the backs, the power going through, all in unison. Nice to watch.
Technically astute, the Georgian 8. And as soon as the penalty was awarded, there were no two minds that Apazidze was going to take a pot at goal. Look at him, there's nothing of him, but he's got a mighty boot. Remember him kicking one goal last year, may have been against South Africa, against France actually, from inside his own half.
Just shows you it's all about timing. Does have a little bit of breeze to contend with, as you spoke about. Not many teams are able to scrummage like that against South Africa, who we know are very strong in that department also.
From the 10-metre line, some 20 metres in from the far touchline. Apazidze to extend Georgia's lead, and that's exactly what I was talking about. He's got lead in that boot of his. And this is a talent that was spotted 12 months ago by some French scouts, and that's why he now applies his trade for Montpellier. Not too far, not a million miles away from where we are here in Perpignan.
Bit of a home game for him, isn't it, really?
So just as they did in that second warm-up match in Cape Town recently, Georgia find themselves in front.
Yeah, fully bind, perfect.
Apazidze wins. Again gets good height on the ball, a testing kick. Well taken though by the man on the left wing for South Africa, Sike Zelula. He pass out the back door. Backs and forwards in concert. Green.
Stop.
Sends it way downfield where Absent-Dadza waits. Call for early by Mamukashvili. Georgia might have a run here. But Mamukashvili runs straight into two burly South Africans, but the ball is there again. Absent-Dadza spots a gap, gives chase, a little too far perhaps. Sliding forward was a Willemse. Now then, room here on the narrow side for Zanidze, the Georgian left wing. Berger, a very good scrum half, is back. Then Lombard hurried the kick and just about takes it into touch.
You can see both of these teams still feeling each other out, using the kick to good effect. And Georgians on that occasion win the battle. Nice chase from the left winger from Georgia as well. Saganadze putting pressure on and forcing their kick out.
This is young Saman Moirat, the South African captain. Barking the orders there.
Really stolen the momentum in this game, haven't they, Georgia, after South Africa's first try. See the confidence is starting to
Well,
flow.
Georgia, they learned so much on that two-match tour of South Africa. Very mature players, these youngsters. Most of them play in the domestic championship in Georgia, the Diddy 10. And of course, over the years, so many Georgians have travelled offshore, most notably to France.
Oh, great work here by Skunis, I think it is. The number 6 for South Africa got on to that ball when they changed the point of attack. Georgia did well initially to take it down on the first pod. Offloaded it. There's the first part of it. Extremely well written between the two middle pods. There's the transfer. Look at the big number 6. Go on there and go to work right there. Nice recognition. There's no way they're getting that ball down too high.
Broad-shouldered Skunes. 6 on his back, but he's an out-and-out open side.
Bind! Set!
Huge arm wrestle on this side of the scrum. Green in from the right wing. Willemse looks for the runners. finds Lombard again, looking for the gap. Almost up to halfway. And this junior Springboks in one line, spread across the field. Line deep, but back it goes on the narrow side. Ball doesn't go to hand. It'll be a Georgian scrum, and they won't mind that.
Yeah, very flat in their attack with South Africa. Hard pass, unfortunately. On first receiver was Lombard.
Let's go!
Just these pressure balls, just rushing it at the moment, the South African team.
Well, they've committed the most handling errors, 5 to Georgia's 2.
And to be fair, Georgia, their defence has been solid. Management there will be pretty happy so far with proceedings.
Okay, number 1.
Just a quick word there from the referee to Guram Gogishashvili on the loose head. Up against the formidable Sazi Sandi at the tight head for the junior Boks.
Set.
Front rows straight to ground.
You can see there the battle you're talking about between those two players. Look at them connect here. This will be a nice shot of it. Oh yeah, it's going to be a battle all day long, you can tell.
Well, Sandi on the tight head here. Well, he was picked out by former Springbok great Robbie Kempson as a sensational player with huge potential during Craven Week a couple of years back.
There's a rep for you if you want one.
Yep. Lively character on and off the field is Sazi Sandi. Concentrating on the job in hand here.
Set.
Against an equally formidable opponent.
Play on, play on, play on, play on.
Prasidze, the try scorer, Lashidze. No way through this time though. For the right winger, would come looking for work, Tapladze.
No, you attack her.
Yeah, we just creeped forward a little bit, did the right-hand winger to Bladze. You can't do that. Once you go to the egg, you can't keep going. You can place it backwards, but you can't propel yourself forward, and that's why they did, because the great defence here from South Africa.
Well, things didn't go quite according to plan for South Africa 12 months ago in Georgia. Ended up with the bronze medal. Hopefully, says Sean Roux, we can learn from mistakes we made, keep errors to a minimum. And that's what's costing them territorial advantage so far.
Yeah, and that's when you want players who have been there, been in that situation, to really stand up. Especially now, here for a second time. As you said, some guys, their third time in this competition.
Then Just finds his captain, Saman Moirat. Maul had been formed, it's collapsed by Georgia. Referee waiting for an advantage. The neat cross kick from Willems puts it on the fullback, Mamukashvili, who somewhat belatedly calls for the mark. Yeah. They'll come back, won't they, for the penalty?
Yeah, I think Willems obviously knew he had the penalty, so went for the kick pass. Unfortunately, Nzazula was a little bit too deep. And once it's formed, you can't pull it down there, and I think it was Japradze.
South Africa will have another go.
You think if they're able to claim that ball, the drive's going to come. Discipline has to be at its maximum for this Georgian team. Look out for Ace in the boot for South Africa. He's gone into halfback.
Well, Georgia know what's coming here. Down from Moirat, finds Muller Ace. And backwards goes Moirat. Forward go the Springboks, and they've claimed the second score. It had to come. Well drilled forward unit. And the line out. Inch perfect.
Well, it worked perfectly. You see Georgia not engaged, but no one comes around and challenges the ball. So it's just given this 4-pack for South Africa, a free one with no defenders that close to your line. Not sure that's the play. By the time they get in there, the way on is for South Africa. The body position is too high from Georgia. That's easy.
Muller Ace, the number 8, brings the scores level on 26 minutes. Willemse from the right side of the field. Yeah, to curve it in. So 18 meters in from the near touchline. This for the lead. Once again for the junior Springboks, and they have it. South Africa 12, Georgia 10.
And here's just the back end of that outstanding drive. They're getting down low with the captain leading from the front, Moira ahead. A lot of people in behind him, and there's the big boys tapping each other. I love it when a plan comes together.
Yeah, down on the run, please. Stay back.
Thumbs up from Muller Ace. High hanging kick finds Norcha.
Okay.
Berger extends that right foot before hoisting the ball up high.
Offside.
Unfortunate.
Yeah, knock on offside there from Georgia.
Offside.
The competition was good in the air from Tyrone Green. Look at him take it to air.
Knock on red.
Number 8 for Georgia.
Offside.
Nadza was the one that knocked the ball forward, and second Nadza was the one offside.
So Willemse looked to put this kick as close as he can to the Georgian try line. The angle was a bit narrow, a bit tight for the South African fly half.
I think now, for me, when it's the danger time for this Georgian team, they've gone through their period where they had some confidence. Now South Africa have come back and starting to challenge them, starting to get into their working game plan now. Short line out.
Norcha. The drive comes on. Ace shields the ball. The Georgians somehow managed to hold up that drive for a second or two. And Ace still has it though, up to the Georgian 22.
One stop, Green.
So next time it has to come out with Georgia shepherding the ball carrier towards the touchline as Juster sets it up again for Sandy, driving hard and low into the Georgian number 8. Machaladze takes the tackle, and another mistake from the try scorer Ace. We'll see another Georgian put in.
Well, a disappointing end to some nice play, some strong play from South Africa. The line-out drive is obviously something they're going to go to. Georgia aren't competing. See the tap on the head by the big number 8, Muller Ace. But here it is initially, well set up early. They get in unison too and get in tight. Just taking it to the line. Good tackle underneath, you'd have to say, from Georgia though.
Okay, play on, red.
So all the Georgian backs to the far side of this scrum.
Clutch! Bind! Set!
Both front rows go to ground. So referee Kerr will step in once again.
Because the Georgian front row are so low, South Africa are trying to match them. And when the power comes on, you can see there straight away. Careful the option for the little chip in behind too from this Georgian team. If they're able to get the ball, see there, number 10, Abed Zandzatse is the one. There's a lot of greenery behind the South African front defensive line.
Yeah, Gianni Lombard is way back inside his own 10-meter line.
Clutch! Bind! Set!
Solid set piece yet again from Georgia. Picked up at the base by Machaladze. And he's well collared though by the scrum half. Berger. And they say Moerat was there too. Apples controls the game well at scrum half for Georgia. Back safely into the hands of Abzandadze. Options are limited there, but finds good touch.
One area that looks solid in is the exit plays. This Georgian team. Here's a strong scrum. Is very unlucky for South Africa because Georgia had wheeled to the left. This guy, Matlatsa, goes to the wrong side, so he's lucky to get that ball to ground. So we're right into the teeth of that defence from South Africa.
That strength being shown by the South African scrum half there, Zach Berger, who actually made his debut for the Junior Springboks against Georgia in the second warm-up match in Cape Town in April. Norcha will reach forward for that one. Skunes on the loop comes Big Muller Ace. Willemse. This time it's Zazulda coming in from the left. Juste. Norcha nailed on the 22. Willemse. Sandy straight into contact. Berger thought he'd spotted a gap. Macbeth. Lovely pass out to the outside centre. Similani. Neat little step from the outside centre. Advantage Georgia. They can't get the ball away though, not initially. Appelzidze sends it way downfield. As soon as he put boot to ball, the advantage was over. Yeah, that's what claimed.
Oh, it's unfortunate there for Georgia. You're right there when second earlier, they get the knock on. Nice run initially with his footwork, just loses the handle there to Similane. Great footwork, we saw him use that step to score his try. Just when he went to deck, just popped the ball out, unfortunately. Now again, they're going to come back for the advantage, looks like. Georgia ball.
Yep.
I want to straight from the beginning. Straight from the beginning.
This is Tyrone Green from the Xerox Golden Lions.
Be careful, Dan. I want number
On the right wing for South Africa.
Referee just saying to Gogi Kashvili on this near side of the scrum to stay straight. A couple of times he tried to bore in on Sandy.
Grits. Bond. Set.
Great effort again. With much Kladze, can't get away. So Georgia will have to start again. And they'll take play a little further infield.
Back, please.
Ball slowly coming back, but it's there. Surely for Appelzidze. Won't take the option, taking option himself, leaves it for Abzandadze. Green anxious to get on with play. Lombard couldn't quite gather it initially. Ball didn't go forward though. Green is there once again.
He's using his knee. He's the knee. No. Play on.
Any number of mistakes now as Abzandadze finds a little bit of greenery, as you say, Carl, behind the Springbok defence. Now, and here's a platform for the junior Boks. Juste takes the ball into contact. Quick recycling, that's what's required here. Berger. Oh, lovely take from Zanidze. He's a dangerous player with ball in hand. Charged down by Macbeth, the loose-head prop for the junior Springboks.
Right, good bit of skill by the left winger. Here's Lombard setting the ball up. The box kicks come, actually turns his back to defence, spins away from it, strong in the tackle, and here's the charge down from Macbeth. Just keeping him honest.
Oh, we got a little bit of history in that Georgian number 11, Otter Zanidze. His uncle Nugza. He goes right back to the start of Georgian rugby. So the first time the Lilos, as they're known, took the field in a test. A 16-3 win against Zimbabwe back in 1989. That's Georgian number 11, some family history there. His dad also played for the Lilos and won 10 caps. I think Bernard Laporte is saying my horse just came in.
Time is on.
takes up the line out. Quickly into midfield. Now they'll cross the gain line with Beka Mamukashvili. Hounded down though.
It's okay, John.
On the far touchline.
Stay. Play.
Georgia just about managed to retain possession. Adzandadze once again. Now in a little daylight on the near side as the captain Zaginadze goes on the charge. Zanidze, the left winger, had moved infield waiting for the return pass, which didn't come. And that's given the Springboks perhaps an opportunity. Giving good chase here is Lemidze on Tyrone Green. And suddenly the Boks are back almost to their own 22. They'll regroup and start again through Ace, the number 8. And with him was the flank forward, Steenkamp. 3 minutes or so to the break. Willemse to inject some pace into the attack. Steenkamp off his right foot, but he's going nowhere. Looked for a second as the Georgians might have stolen it, but no. Mamukashvili, lovely bit of skill again, puts his foot on the ball in soccer parlance. Mamukashvili tries to get away from Similani. It's an enthralling first half, that's for sure. 12 points to 10. 2 points the difference as we approach the break. Adzandadze shows the ball back inside. Green with the interception. Read it well, did the Springbok wing three-quarter. There's a Georgian player down on the far side of the field. Willemse tackled hard, and it's a cutout by Georgia, the right winger, Demir Tapladze. And Georgia, just before the break, take the lead for the second time. The ever alert Demir Tapladze on the far side. Look at this.
Well, the defense has been strong together. There's the mishandle. There's the pressure coming up. Nice hit put on by the captain. What that forces is this, a long missed pass. He hedges his bets and he picks the right one. And look at the reaction. Oh, yeah. Everyone's into this one from Georgia, even the reserves. They love it.
Well, there's concern at the moment, though, for that young man. Getting the medical attention that one expects these days. And just as a precaution, it's holding him in position, and going through the checks.
Well, he is moving his extremity, so that's a good sign there, Win. So you're right, they're just being overly cautious, which is the right manner and thing to do.
Referee Kerr gives the kicker, Aprasidze, the hurry up. He's got about 20 seconds. And how great it is to see all these school kids here for this event. And this is what dreams are made of. Aprasidze, well, it's a dream start for Georgia, certainly leading by 15 to 12 with a conversion to come. Referee Kerr gave Aprasidze the hurry up.
Now we will start.
A simple 2 points again for the Georgian scrum half. And once again, Georgia have a 5-point lead as we arrive at the break. Any number of mistakes, and this the latest in a catalogue of errors for junior Springboks. What a tackle that was from the Georgian captain.
Yeah, unfortunately, Willemse just took his eyes off the ball. Had a look at that defence from Georgia. That's what forced the mistake. Look at the reserves. I love it. I love the raw emotion from these sides.
Yeah, but something that also tells me we see a little bit too much of this when the reserves are warming up in the dead ball area. It can lead to some frustration at times, but you can't blame them, that's for sure. So it is time to restart. But there will be a delay whilst the Georgian player receives attention.
And I think we're seeing the signs as we see the school kids that are coming here. Le Bleu will be up after this game.
this guy would come on, wouldn't he? He's got the most difficult name to pronounce in the squad, the Georgian 22, Chichinadze.
Graham, next stop.
You see, that's where the injury occurred from Swanzadze. Just took a hit from his own player to the head neck area.
Looking at some interesting statistics here, Carl. South Africa 10 handling errors to Georgia's 4.
Well, it's very hard to get any continuity. I'm sure that's what the captain Moirat be telling his team. If we control the ball, we control the pace of the game, and they've looked good when they've done that. But when they make mistakes, they've given the Georgian team opportunities to get into the game, given them confidence, and they've run with it, and they're really expressing themselves as Georgian side, deservedly so, probably have the lead.
Next stop, it's half time.
So it's the outside centre for Georgia. Sandro Svanidze, it appears, who's receiving the treatment.
And it's a shame too, because he's been very solid in their midfield. Made a nice break for their first initial try, but very good defensively as well.
He stands at, well, 194 metres.
It's small these days for these kids, isn't it? They're monsters.
He's about 6'5" in old money, I think. And very often the injuries we see, they're not as bad as they appear, but that again just goes to show how diligent the medical support is at rugby fields these days, and it's only right and proper that Sandro Svanidze gets the attention he deserves.
Yeah, this is just the first try from South Africa. A nice pass from Nzula out to the outside centre, Similane, and that got it started. And then the Georgians with a reply win.
It all came, didn't it, from the break out from Lamidze initially. Muller-Ace gets South Africa back on track. This was a telling tackle, wasn't it?
That's the one that applied the pressure. That's the one that forced the long pass from Pretorius. He knew he had numbers on the outside if he could get the ball there, but this guy here with a nice read. It was an all or nothing play, and he made it count.
But coming up, of course, it's going to be France against Ireland. And there'll be far more people in the Stade Aimé Giral, I fancy, when that game kicks off. They like the late kickoffs here in France, don't they, Carl?
Yeah, they do. Probably waiting for people to get back out of work, have dinner, come and watch the rugby over here. Good stuff. This first game, man, what a matchup.
There's a great atmosphere around the Stade Aimé Giral these days, with the local side Perpignan having won promotion back to the top table of French rugby, the top 14, as it's called, the top 14.
Yeah, just been around here for the past week or so, one can tell it is very much a rugby town, that's for sure, Perpignan.
It's Perpignan, and then the other pool matches being played in Faroe, Béziers and Narbonne. The hotbed of rugby here in southern France, not far from the Mediterranean coast. The sea breezes. Taking the kick from Aprozidze out into the stand. And Georgia can be well pleased with the opening 14, the opening match of the 2018 World Rugby Under-20 Championship. They lead South Africa, much fancied South Africa, by 17 points to 12.
Regarde Maxime.
Welcome back to the Stade Giral here in Perpignan, where it's half-time in the opening match in the World Rugby Under-20 Championship of 2018. And Georgia, they lead South Africa by 17 points to 12 at the break. Galtanana, well, did you expect this from the Georgians? Not only are they competitive, but they would appear to be the more accurate of the two sides as well. Nothing to choose between the two teams in terms of statistics, bar one, and that's the handling errors committed. 10-4.
I'm sure that's what the Springboks coaching staff would have spoken about to their team. When they've had the ball and they've built pressure, they've come away with points. This Georgian team, though, you have to be impressed with the way they've been able to absorb the pressure from South Africa, make their tackles and get their scores and seize on their opportunities, which they created through some great defense. They come in with this game very excited. We're wondering whether they can stick with the South African team with their first 40 minutes. They did.
Well, they overturned, or they turned over rather, the Argentinians. They lost Pumitas 12 months ago, did the Georgians. They lost at the pool stage, but then they won the ninth games semi-final and secured their place here in France in 2018, and fully deserving of their place, as it turns out.
And the thing is too, when they have played the South African team pre this championship, so that's the thing that I think has really shown in this game. They aren't afraid, they aren't intimidated by the South African unit. Long way to go in this game, no doubt about that, but at the moment this Georgian team are doing extremely well.
And it underlines what South African coach Shane Rowe was telling me earlier on today. Forget about those two warm-up matches, he said. This is a totally different game.
Looks like it might be a change for South Africa in the front row. Number 18 looks like he's come on. Talbot Kanye. Jersey 18.
Captain Green. Captain Red.
So 18 on for Sazi Sandi. He was given a torrid time by Guram Gogilashvili, the Georgian loose head, in the opening 40 minutes. As we get underway with the second half, South Africa with possession. They trail Georgia by 5 points, and probably the words of the coach Shane Rowe still stinging in their ears, as it's the mistake, the first mistake of the second half comes from the junior Boks.
Yeah, Willemse, unfortunately, just overcooking his kick. Sure, the plan was to try and turn this Georgian team around early on in the second half. But they have to start executing here, because the more mistakes they made, the more pressure that is piled upon them.
And Tlabakanye is on for Sandy, and Dixon is on for Norche. Good strength. Once again being shown by the Georgian in number 6, that's Kiala Hornia.
Number 7.
Not even jumping there at the line out, just changing it up, trying to catch the Springbok team off guard, and he needed to go in behind it, just overrunning it just a little bit, forcing that pass.
We saw the Georgian centre being carried off towards the end of the first half, Sandra Svanidze. And on has come Temuras Chichinadze, who's gone to the right wing. And Demir Tapladze would appear to have come in at outside centre.
Well, we haven't seen much of Pretorius from set-piece play, the inside centre for South Africa. I think this is a great opportunity to get him involved.
Neat loop there with the man you just spoke of, Rikus Pretorius. Willemse takes the ball into the Georgian half. Steenkapper will reach up for that one. The captain, Saman Moirat. Back again on the narrow sides as Lombard pokes it through. A little too heavy-footed, perhaps, carrying it back into his own in-goal area was the lead fullback, Novokashvili. And just as we saw at the end of the first half, when Georgia intercepted and stole a march, well, Tyrone Green is in at the post. Just what the doctor ordered for South Africa, who are now back on level terms.
Reward for a great chase.
I think 14 was...
Say that's kick's only as good as it chase. You can see here, probably had time to let this go, so mistake thrown by the fullback, but great chasing, great reward for Tyrone Green. Look at the determination on his face, going for that ball, making it contestable. That's the thing. There's some reward for just some tough grind. Well done, young man.
Well, it's a nightmare, isn't it, for Mamukashvili? The diminutive Georgian fullback. And Tyrone Green gets a great reward for his chasing as Willemse adds the conversions. And South Africa have the lead once again.
Yeah, turned us back to the defence at the number 50, Mamukashvili. Deserves a stoke, they'll get their opportunity. Here's the man that deserves all the taps on the back, Tyrone Green.
A much closer contest perhaps than some would have anticipated coming into this tournament. Much fancied South Africa. They toured the UK about a month ago and defeated Scotland, Wales and England. Different challenges posed by the three nations. And of course the two-test wins over Georgia in Cape Town. So they lead Georgia by 19-17, 4 minutes into the second half.
Good chase again from South Africa, really starting to pile on again. That's that man, Tyrone Green, getting up, last off the deck.
More red.
So let's see how this first scrum of the second half will go. Nhlabakanye on the tight head. Huge physical specimen.
Well, tight set up in the back line for South Africa. We've got Pretorius up front, they've got Willemse just in behind.
Green again coming in off his wing and causing all sorts of problems for the Georgian defence. Quick recycling sees the captain Moirat charging downfield. The forwards are there in support. Just Macbeth was there, and this is the replacement, Nhlabakanye. Again, it's on its way, and Moirat once more is the first recipient. They're calling for the ball out wide. This is Just, the hooker. Willemse with a step off his right foot. Ace had called for it early on the narrow side. That's a Steenkamp. The Georgians defending somewhat narrow here. There could be spaces out wide if the Boks can move it quickly.
Low end.
Keeping it tight initially. And here we go again. Has to be a score surely for Skunes. Has he dotted it down? Don't think he has. Great defensive effort once again from the Georgians.
Absolutely outstanding. It was the left winger for Georgia. Look at Nadzet. Got right underneath Skunas and effected a brilliant tackle.
Ball not ground.
Still going to be a put in scrum for feed for South Africa, but this is brilliant win. Like you say, you put your mortgage on him scoring, 2 defenders coming across. That is brilliant.
Great work. Look, got him round the ankles. It was Gela Aprasidze, the smallest man in this Georgian setup. And look at the work there of Otta Zanidze. Saved a certain try, but had the presence of mind to get in under his man. The threat is not over though for the Georgians. 5 meters out from their own try line.
Well, this is where this known strong Georgia scrum really has to come up trumps them. They need to apply the pressure. They need to find a way to be able to get a penalty out of this set piece here. Done so well to scramble. Conversely here, Win, the replacement. Kanye on the far side really needs to anchor this scrum to give him a solid platform to launch off. There he is on the far side.
Crucial few minutes these for Georgia. Coughed up a try in the opening 4 minutes of the second half. And if the South Africans get the nudge on here, could set them on their way. Ace again picking up from the base. Good tackle from the Georgian number 7. That's Gigolashvili. And still they come. Straight down the middle goes Zach Burger. Good vision from the South African scrum half, and that's extended South Africans' lead.
Well, it's the big boys rolling up their sleeves. First it was Ace, then it was Schooners, and then they all fan out. The dummy there, you can see there no one was in tight for Georgia. They get exposed, rushing out. See, their heads are all up. You've got to look after the ball first. We call it a rock in New Zealand. The post guy closest to the ruck has to stay there. They can't buy dummies like that. They did that, he exploited it.
That score's been well received by the South African bench. So Willemse sets the ball up on the tee, centre field. This then to give South Africa a 2-score advantage. South Africa 10 minutes into the second half, 2 tries in 5 minutes, and they lead Georgia now by 26 points to 17.
Yeah, just underpinning this class, the South African team. Winning in behind at the half, but now 2 scores in the first 10 minutes of the second half. Now this Georgian team, what have they got? They can ill afford South Africa the next score, otherwise I think this game's done.
Pool winners and the best place second team at the end of the pool stage go through to the championship semi-finals, and South Africa will look to rack up the scores.
Green, number 2.
4 tries to the good.
Stay on your feet, please.
Burger, the try scorer. It won't go far. It's back on the South African side. And this is the replacement, Ben Jason Dixon. On for Nortje for the second half. There he is. Broad-shouldered replacement. Burger's down. Ball didn't go forward, says the referee. Georgia do well to keep the ball in play, and they will come again. This is where they're at their most dangerous.
No, release. Advantage.
Just was the man offside, so Georgia will have the advantage here, but there's another Georgian player down on the far side.
No, body's holding here. No advantage.
He was never on side, was he? The hooker, Dan Just, for South Africa at that last ruck.
Number 2, on the side and on the ground.
There it is here. This is the shot put on. This is the Georgian who was cleaning up on the far side of the field. Dixon making an impact off the bench, the big number 20.
Captain.
Looks like the outside inside centre Pretorius just getting caught awkwardly in that last bit of contact. Doesn't want to come off, say, "No, I'm good to go." I think they're going to make a change here.
So the Georgian player back up on his feet, as indeed is Pretorius.
Smart play here too by George. I think you got to go for the points, which looks like they're going to do, but up at a nut set.
Yeah, Georgia need to keep in touch because they yielded 5 tries, I think, in that second warm-up test in the second half. And this appears to be a mirror image of that match when Georgia led into the second half, only for the junior Springboks to come back strongly. So Aprasidze with 7 points in the opening 40 minutes. Watches his penalty attempt sail over. The two referees' assistant having just a quick knowing look at one another before awarding the penalty.
And there we see the replacement for Pretorius, jersey number 23, Lyle Hendricks, coming onto the field. That's a great score, great kick. The number 9 for Georgia, because what it does makes it a one-score game now.
So 26-20. One score in it, one mistake could change the course of this game. So Pretorius gives way. Hendricks takes his place in midfield. Dixon can't take it. Bernard Labakania is there. The replacement, tight head. Dixon straight into the action.
7. 2 times.
But it's Steenkamp.
7.
The number 7 was penalised.
Yeah, and the clean out
7.
was the problem here for the number 7 for South Africa. That's okay. Just the clean out there.
We compliment the referees, Carl. The players, Carl. We should compliment the referees as well. It's the first time I've seen Ludo care, but it's a stepping stone for referees as well as players.
Captain.
This under-20s World Rugby Championship.
Number 2 here, number 7 here.
Most definitely great platform, not only for players, but as you say, referees who launch into the
gap,
their careers.
The gap.
A bit of moisture on the ball. It's coming up to 7:45 in the evening here in Perpignan. Good clean take at the back by Halagonia. Lovely step from Japanidze. The tight head prop forward, and Georgia rumbling forward.
Okay, in the act,
Little scrum half needs a hand here. And South Africa, they've turned it over. Georgia scrambling back into defence as Green once again shows what a threat he is on the far right. Zanidze has it well covered. Hurries the kick away downfield.
Move back.
That's been a good battle on that far side of the field with the wingers, hasn't it? When with Zanidze and Tyrone Green. Really enjoyed that.
First.
Great turnover though at the breakdown from South Africa, piling a lot more numbers in there.
Steenkamp just about manages to gather. Moirat offloads to Berger. Lovely pass, finding Green again. He's still going. Tyrone Green to the try line. Caught up short there. Just a few inches.
Offside.
But it's still there for Muller-Ace. Referee Kerr giving the Springboks the advantage and awarding a second try to the number 8, Muller-Ace.
Well, it'll be Ace's name on the score sheet, but he can go over it and shake his right winger's hand. Tyrone Green with an outstanding run once again. Nice time another pass on Berger, but look at the determination from Tyrone Green. He did everything but score that try right there. Was just about to try and put it down. The rough side said they had the penalty advantage, but look at the body position by the big number 8. Gets his double.
Thought for a second the referee might have wanted a second look at that one, but he's quite happy and confident that the try had been scored.
Yeah, we've got the thumbs up from the teammate next to us, Win.
Number 1 red, please, substitution. Number one red.
It's taken them a little while to get into gear, hasn't it, the Springbok team, when I think they always knew it was going to be a pressure first 40, so they were able to absorb that. Now they're starting to stretch their legs, get into third gear and really put their stamp on this game.
Willemse steadies himself. And 31 becomes 33, and the gap opens up.
Good line out there from Steenkamp. They wrapped around, so they drew defenders out, then they bounced back to blind with their captain, Moira, passed it on to right-hand winger Green, and in the end, the big number 8's been strong and physical in this one. Muller Ace gets a second of the match. Look at that great body position.
So 3 tries in the quarter of an hour for South Africa. Well, they're hitting their straps now, aren't they? 33 points to 20. Willemse pins Georgia back. It's Nidze on the left flank, juggling with possession, evades the advancing Tyrone Green.
Back.
Caught by Hendricks.
No end, no end. Not seven, not seven. Stay.
Naprazidze wants a clear space to get his pass away. Such a tricky customer, the young Montpellier scrum half.
Back. Outside, Dan.
Another replacement on them for Georgia. It's Cengiz Zamtaradze for Gogilashvili. Lombard. Now then, South Africa have a little room to maneuver here through Willemse. Has made that starting berth for the GHL Stormers his own. It's a big hit coming in from the Georgian hooker Papedza.
No advantage.
Well, if anything, that's where they really pressurised the South African team with their defence. Been very good from Georgia.
Knock on Green.
Right, look at the hooker here come in, bobble the ball, so just trying to secure it. Nothing wrong with that, under the ribs. Bent down, good technique. Handling errors more than double from the South African team. That's something obviously they're going to look rearranging going forward.
It's a tough pool, this, isn't it, with France and Ireland also in this pool. And Georgian, well, they've already shown that they're not going to be any pushover.
They talk about pool of death
Substitution, number 3.
in these sort of championships. So that's one right there, as you said. 3 heavyweights.
You don't come much heavier than this guy. Kareshvili, 120 kgs from the Armazi Rugby Club in Tbilisi.
So it's just powerful power there, isn't it? Change. He's been good.
Knock on Green.
That's been a good effort from both props.
I want the same thing, okay? Long bind, please. Long bind and stay straight, okay?
Got to remember too, when these are only kids, 17, 18, 19.
Frightening, isn't it?
Shoulder, please, yeah. Shoulder! Scratch!
Unusual setup here by Georgia. They've got 5 players in the back line in this near side of the field in short space.
It's probably the best scrum we've seen from South Africa in this match. The replacements are certainly proving their worth.
No end, no end, no end, no.
All lost forward.
It's not end Green, it's you, Brad.
Well, they're starting to exert their dominance physically now, aren't they? South Africa, as you said, it's the first time this Georgian scrum's gone backwards. Yeah. Nice off the back with Steenkamp. Look at the numbers pile through Muller.
No end Green. No, it's okay.
Applying pressure as well. Causing the knock-ons, a fair call as well. The captain there for Georgia.
Well, a word there about the South African number 1, Nathan Macbeth. He's been there from the start, and he's certainly given as good as he's got. He played for Scotland, actually, in the Northern Hemisphere under-20s, Six Nations, dual qualified. But he's back now in the junior Springbok ranks to further his career ambitions. Lombard drives it hard and low towards the Georgian try line. Problems there for the replacement, Chichinadze.
Too late.
Smart kick though, just turned it around. You see there, just when he went to pick it up, the bounce of the rugby ball just hit him on the chin. Unfortunate for the young man.
First, number 1.
Let's speed it up.
Everyone needs to be on the same page here for South Africa and for Georgia. To the back it goes, as you'd expect. And the Boks get the drive on. Going backwards initially, but now they're going forward at a rate of knots, looking for a 6th try here. Who's got the ball? Who's shielding the ball? And out of that pile of bodies, was it Muller Race initially? It's still there. This time it's Macbeth. Pulled down short of the try line. The huge replacement pop forward. He's there too, but he can't get to the try line. This time perhaps Younes, the referee, right on the spot. But again, he's been held up. So it's timeout. Let's have another look, says Ludo Kerr.
Time off. TMO. Graham?
Yes, Ludo.
You heard me?
Yep, very good.
Yeah, for me, there is a grounding, but I just want to see if it's not in 2 time, because I see the tackle before the line and after the grounding. I just want to control if the grounding is good.
Okay.
Make sure that it's not a double movement. So I can gather here.
So any reason why I cannot award the try, please?
It's not there, it's the run after this, I think.
That's the question to Graham Hughes, the TMO. Is there any reason why I can't award the try? He was waiting for the question.
I think he's had a second nudge there from that angle. Stopped initially. Was it short though? That's my question. Can we get another angle at it? He said he's seen it touch down, so I don't think that's the issue. It's whether he's had 2 goes at it. So he stopped there for mine.
Tackle was made by
the other angle is best, I think.
Gelahorn, yeah.
So
Georgia
there,
number 6.
Yeah, there stopped, and then he's had a second nudge. So this might be coming back from Schooners.
Ludo?
Yes.
Okay, he is short and then moves again.
Okay.
So it's a penalty against Green.
Okay, so
Okay.
it's in 2 time for you?
There is a definite second movement, yeah.
Okay.
So just as you suspected, Carlton Anna, a definite second movement. Don't know whether you heard it at home, but the voice of Graham Hughes there,
Captain.
the English television match official.
No try, number 2 in 2 time.
Well, then it just shows you the process is working, isn't it? Well done. Another great scramble from
Penalty
Georgia
against
here.
you, number 2.
Much needed as well to keep them in this game.
Number 2, 2 time.
So we're into the final quarter here at the Stade Aimé Giral. Coming up, of course, it's going to be France against Ireland. And I suspect there'll be a few more people in the house by then.
Tell you what, though, when the South African team just showing that they are very good at that rolling maul. It was absolutely outstanding. They've had a distinct advantage today in that area. Deserved the try, that's for sure. This is after about the 4th run.
Time off.
Unfortunate there
Number
for
5,
South Africa.
5. Red.
It's been very strong today too,
Yeah.
Dion Schooners.
So the replacements are coming thick and fast now for both teams.
Yannick, it's okay?
2 further replacements in the front row for the junior Springboks. Skulk Erasmus comes on in the middle of the front row. And Lulutu Shakweni, where's number 17, prominent down the front there. Now then, looking to make up for that earlier indiscretion is Chichinadze. Finds Mamukashvili. Well, plenty of energy being shown by the Georgians, but they seriously need a score in the next few minutes to bring them back into this game. Advantage knock on by Tendo Gigolashvili, the Georgian number 7.
Well, unfortunate for Similane. The outside centre there for South Africa was the right idea. Execution probably just off a little bit. He wanted it to go longer and stay in, but look at this. Bit of defence here from South Africa. Great turnover. 2 players onto 1. There's the kick. Similane. The Georgians are stuck in their own half for a long period here, Win.
Ball just thrown down from the line out, covered there by Aprasidze. The industrious little scrum half for the Georgians. And another mistake. Well, tired, a little tired perhaps by now, because they've been on the defensive for the greater part of the second half.
Well, I'll tell you what, the bench has come on and done a job here for the South African team. Labakanye has been absolutely outstanding in jersey number 18. Short up the scrum and putting pressure on. And those big contacts here, once again, he's one of the first runners there.
So you have to admire really the management of this junior Springbok side by Coach Shenru. Knew exactly what needed to be done in terms of selecting a side to defeat Georgia. He's kept 1 or 2 of his star players, shall we say, back on the bench. There he is with the red cap on the right of your picture. And he's brought the influential players on in the second half here.
That's going to be a big part of this under-20s championship, isn't it? Using, rotating your players per game. I want to give everyone a run in pool play, that's for sure. Just to get them into the tournament. Been very good. When you want to come off the bench, you want to try and make an impact, and that's what they've done. There's just the injury to the little 9. Has been good today as well for Georgia.
Well, this is what international rugby is about. Even at this level, it's you know, what, 5 games in 19 days. Salman Moirat, led by example, the South African Springboks captain, hailing from Paarl in the Western Cape.
We just feel now when it's going to be very tough. 2 pods in the back line for South Africa. Tough defensive assignment for Georgia.
The threatening figure of the fullback Gianni Lombard looming on the near side. So what are the instructions being sent down from the grandstand to the Georgian staff on the sidelines?
I think they just need to make their tackles here. Try and find a way to keep out the South African attack and just try and get down the other end of the field. They're locked in for a very long time. Some good pressure from South Africa with their kicks.
Yeah, you get the impression there are more scores to come in this match. 33 points to 20. South Africa lead, and here they come again through that man Similane at centre. Out it goes. Oh, and a great score for the outside half, Damian Willemse.
Well, it's always nice when you call a move and it works to plan like that. Here's the initial incision from Similane. Does well to set the ball up, and it's just so quick. You see there's nothing the defence can do because they've got numbers on the outside. They're going backwards, and the guy who's as dangerous, Damian Willemse, with the wrap around for the number 8, Muller, causes a deception. The outside centre comes through, but very tough for defence to mark up there.
Yeah, just a little show there, stunning up the Georgian defence for a split second. Damian Willemse, only months after finishing school, he made his Super Rugby debut at the age of 18 years and 300 days in round 3 of the 2017 season.
The thing is too, this guy's been in and around the Springbok top grade, hasn't he? This young man Damian Willemse, so seen as a very high prospect in South Africa, and they just continue to get outstanding number 10 through this competition.
Check. Yeah.
creates the gap for the player to run through to score the try.
Well, hold the back page, Carlton Anna.
Obstruction.
There would appear to be a question mark over that score.
The obstruction.
Okay, show me.
So this is the call come from the TMO. No, there's no obstruction there because he's made the hole. He's the one who's gone through, so I think we're okay. That's what we're looking at. From here, it's just man on man.
Okay, it's before that, run.
Well, they're saying is Willemse the one that's causing the hole.
Okay, I see.
There
Georgie,
might
yeah,
be issues.
and gives the gap for the player.
Yeah, continue.
So
it
sorry,
means the
Hendricks.
10 can't get to the ball.
Hendricks, sorry, is in jersey number 23, I think. It's taking out the number 10.
Yeah.
That was in Dudza.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair enough. I agree with that.
In front of the player was the ball.
Well, South Africans are back in their own half,
So for me,
waiting for the restart, and
penalty at 5.
Willemse has been prevented from taking the conversion.
Time on. No try.
No try.
You know, it's a good call, though. Didn't see that. It's the right one.
Eagle-eyed Graham Hughes, our television match official.
There it is there, right at the top of your screen. The number 23.
23, green. Holding a player without
He's
ball.
made the contact. It's not the defence. That's the issue. And that's the reason why. The defence makes the call and engages in that tackle, then that's fair enough.
So Georgia live again. Because a score then would have taken the game out of reach of the Georgians.
Time out.
So 12 minutes remaining, 13 points the difference.
6, 6.
South African team, they played the second half very, very smart.
And two.
But just turn this Georgian team around. You see multiple changes coming on.
8 and 9. Green. 8, 8, and 9. And 9.
So that Prezidza comes off. And on in his place is Luka Dualishvili. Zamtaradze comes on at hooker for Papidze. And Abasadze for Yelahornia. The first touch of the ball then for Zamtaradze, the replacement hooker.
Back.
Here's another replacement.
Stay.
Taking the ball into contact.
Watch it.
Abzandadze is still there.
Release,
This
release.
is Archie Abasadze with the blue scrum cap. Some sleight of hand from Zanidze.
Yeah, coming off his wing and creating the overlap. Just halfway through the hole. He should have went himself there. Unfortunate for the young man.
Abzandadze got his hands on the ball, and when it looked as if the Springboks were going to spread it wide, but they have it once again. It's the advantage law that's being applied here by referee Kerr. As we approach the 70-minute mark, 10 minutes or so remaining. South Africa through Willemse, spread it out to Similani, and this is Younes. Denied a try earlier, 2 tries now denied for South Africa. They're in the ascendancy here as they go through the phases. Ruan Kroya, he's the replacement scrum half, and this was the man penalised earlier on for holding on to Abzandadze, the Georgian number 10. Hendricks. Abokashvili from inside his own 22. Was that a late tackle on the Georgian fullback? Could be a sanction here.
Oh, the double blow's never good. Guarantee you that. Nice break by the 15.
Run.
Oh, just lazy more than anything, wasn't it?
Well, when you're that size, there's nowhere to hide, is there?
Yeah.
Good work, footwork here from Abokashvili. Makes the break, puts the kick down, and that's way too late.
For me,
No arm rep either.
to the kick. Yellow card.
And Sabakanya. Here's the miscreant.
For me,
the late charge.
after the kick.
Oh, it's like the Queen Mary, isn't it? You know, it takes a heck of a long time for him to turn.
He's been good though since he's been employed into this match. He's been very, very good.
Now Georgia, now the advantage of the extra man here for the time that remains, perhaps. And if Absent Dadza can put this ball down in the corner.
Geez, this has been one of the few times this Georgian team's been into the 22 of South Africa in this half. They don't have to rush it here either. I think they've got to keep it close, keep it to their strengths, keep it to their big ball runners.
Mamukashvili winded perhaps, but back on his feet. Now then.
Wait.
Just on the South African 22, the pulls it out of the air. The drive comes on. It's shielded. With his hands on the ball is the replacement scrum half. Luka Dwalishvili. Absent Dadza evades the first tackler. Sets it up. Sakhinadze. Once again, Becca Sakhinadze. Dwalishvili digs it out in centre field. Absent Dadza commands his troops on the far side. It's on its way back inside. Mamukashvili, oh, he must be made of rubber. And still they come. They are in determined mood. If they are going to go down, then they're going to go down fighting. Lomidze playing Georgia's opening score. 8 meters short of the try line. Absent Dadza caught by the ankle. He was through. He was home and dry. This time perhaps is there. That's the scrum half, the replacement. Luka Dwalishvili, and Georgia breathe again.
Well, only took them less than 2 minutes to take full toll of the numerical advantage. Great rolling maul, great deception, nice ankle tap there from Simelane, but in the end it was inconsequential because he just threw the dummy, they follow it, and he goes underneath. Well done.
He is absolutely delighted with that score, as indeed his team and Moirat. Yeah, keep your cool, go through the processes, we're still ahead, but this conversion will bring Georgia back within one score.
Captain, on the line.
You've got to give it to these Georgian teams. The fight back that they show, conversion is good. The captain has been absolutely outstanding for Georgia the second row, especially in that sequence of play. Sakhinadze.
What I like about this Georgian side, there's no panic at all. They've been behind by 13, 14 points, and still they come, they concentrate on the job in hand, and they're back within one score. South Africa down to 14 men. Less than 8 minutes remaining. Can Georgia do it? Well, Georgia have only won 2 games in the history of the tournament. They defeated Italy 2 years ago and Argentina last year. Ball didn't go forward, says referee Kerr.
No, end.
Once again, Georgia back inside their own 22. Dug out for Absent Dadza to send it downfield. Finds good touch.
This is where I think South Africa need to go to the rolling maul. Has been effective the whole game. It'll eke out the clock. Been very good at that execution. They've employed it. See there now the communication starting to come.
So wipe of the ball for Skulk Erasmus, the man from Western Province.
Wait.
The 2 second rows, the 2 captains, they've had a great tussle, haven't they? Saman Moirat.
No, number 6.
So Georgia halts the initial thrust. Kroya had a quick look there. We've already seen Berger having a dart through and claiming the score. Quickly taken Kroya to Willemse, to Green. Out on the far right, taken by Absendadze. Still there for South Africa. And Steenkamp. And the try line beckons once again for South Africa. Called for early by Chakweni. Oh, Henrik's in two minds. The pass needed to come out. But Georgia have turned it over once again. Erasmus, number 16, look at him. Oh, great work by the replacement hooker. Sets Cryer on his way. But no advantage, so they'll have to come back. Gianni Lombard will be denied.
It's going to be Georgia ball here. As the captain, I think it was, too. Suganadze up for Georgia, getting their turnover. This goes a little bit high, does Hendricks. They come in right there, steals it. That is desperation at its finest.
Number 7. 7. Substitution.
So substitution for Steenkamp. More prominent in the second half. Back on comes Sazi Sandi. As we need a competent front row forwards.
Simon.
This is going to be one almighty scrum. As ever, it's usually a flank forward who has to give way, and there is a requirement for a front row replacement. Or a front row expert, perhaps I should say. So South Africa still down to 14 men for another 3 minutes and a half. And 4 minutes or so for Georgia to get a converted try, which will bring them a famous victory. They've never been this close to South Africa. 38-14, 12 months ago, when Georgia hosted the tournament in Tbilisi. 55-14 it was in that first game of the warm-up test out in Cape Town. Much closer in the second. Georgia held sway well into the second half. And they've clawed their way back into this match. 33 points to 27. 5 tries for South Africa, 3 for Georgia. It's an almighty arm wrestle for possession. Ball spits out. And in goes the little scrum half. Dualishvili held up, so big burly forward has to assume responsibilities of scrum half, and that was Luka Gilashvili wearing number 19. And Absendadze has got no choice really but to aim for touch and hope that his forwards perhaps can claim the line out. The clock is against them now. Tedo Absendadze, just 18 years of age, what a talent.
Your mark.
An international fly half in the making.
10,
Erasmus. South Africa reduced the numbers at the line out. One-handed. Saman Moirat
number 4
secures possession. Springboks might be quite happy to rumble downfield here, hold on to possession for the time that remains, some 2 minutes or so.
Keep working! Keep working! Keep working! Keep working!
And still they come into the Georgian 22.
Yeah, what is your... Really?
Erasmus sets it up. Dixon, the replacement at lock forward.
Number 5.
Well taken by Willemse. Lombard up from fullback into the hands of Tyrone Green on the bar side. A bundle of energy. Vermaak, the man with the headgear. The replacement. Still no way through for Hendricks. Dug out ever so slowly. This time perhaps the little dink through, but it's a wing forward, a heavy wing forward at that Skunes, who was out on the flank. But South Africa and where they want to be, well inside the Georgian half. And still they will get the line out as the clock ticks down to 0 here in this opening match of the 2018 World Rugby Under-20 Championship. And it's been an enthralling contest with Georgia taking the game to the much fancied South Africans. This man will be back shortly. Will there be time, I wonder, after this line out? So all South Africa need to do here is a clean catch and hold on to possession, as exactly Shark Erasmus does. Ruan Kroyer will get the ball in his hands and kick it out, surely. No, he won't. Time is up. Probably heard somebody calling, is the time up? Yes, it is now. And Kroyer gets the message as the ball is kicked high into the grandstand. Ludo Kerr, the French referee, blows the final whistle. It's a victory for the Springboks. They are on their way, but they were pushed all the way by Georgia. The final scoreline then, South Africa 33, Georgia 27. So handshakes all round. Little Becca Mamukashvili, that fullback. So a great advertisement for this championship. The opening match, and we can look forward to many more matches like this one, I'm sure, coming up shortly. It'll be France against Ireland. And Ireland will have to contend with a vociferous and vocal partisan crowd as well here at the Stade Aimé Giral. But let's congratulate these South African youngsters and the Georgian squad also for giving us, for entertaining us royally over the last 80 minutes or so. And Shane Roux, the South African coach, will be satisfied with the outcome eventually. His team trailed by 17-12 at the break, but that score early on in the second half from Tyrone Green, bringing the South Africans back on level terms, that stunned Georgia. And another two tries denied as well. And Saman Moirat just listening in to him there. Knows exactly what needs to be done before the next game. That's to tighten things up a little. We can now hear them down pitch side. Carl Tanana has made his way down there and has company in the form of one of the Georgian players. I think it is actually the second row forward, Lasha Jayani.
Lasha, I know you didn't get the win today, but the way your team performed, you must be very happy.
Well, yeah, I guess we really wanted to win. We were ready for this. We didn't come out here as a second-rate team. We came out as a first team. We wanted to win, but unfortunately, we couldn't do it towards the end. A few mistakes in defense cost us the game. But I have to thank the boys. They gave it their all against a very strong South Africa side. Probably one of the top teams in this cup. So the only thing I can do is thank the boys.
Do you think playing them early on in the pre-match and then coming here, you weren't intimidated? Did it help you playing them before the tournament?
Oh yeah, it definitely did. We got to know the team, and I thought that really helped us in the games forward. I guess the same could be said for South Africa, but yeah, it's a bit disappointing.
Oh no, keep your head up. I know you didn't get the win. Good luck for the next one, eh?
Thank you very much.
Yeah, the disappointment writ large there on the face of the Georgian look forward, Lasha Gianni, who was incidentally is a student at the University of Exeter over in England. And we can now hear from the victorious South African, the junior Springbok captain, Saman Moirat, again with Carl Tanana.
Well, Simon, congratulations on the win, but geez, it was a tough one.
Yeah, definitely. We knew the Georgians would come out tonight. They came out and they knocked us up front. We didn't expect anything less. So well done to them. I just hope their campaign can go from strength to strength as well.
One area must be happy with the second half. You're able to keep your composure, bring guys off the bench, you made an impact.
Yeah, I think the message at halftime was just to look after the ball, try and play in their half. Hopefully, luckily we did that and it went our way. But within saying that, I think there's still a lot of things that we can work on.
I was about to say, playing a tough team such as Georgia first up, I mean, it does expose you in some sense, but you can build on that.
Yeah, of course, that's the beauty of it. Now, now we know what we can work on. Our focus will go into the next game and nothing less than that.
Well, congratulations, good luck for the next one.
Thank you very much. Cheers.
Yeah, teams usually build on the opening match. It's always a nervous occasion to take on the opening encounter in Georgia. They've done themselves proud, and South Africa, they will breathe a sigh of relief, and they will build on this, and they will be a threat for sure as the tournament progresses. We're looking forward again to seeing Georgia entertain us as they take on France and Ireland, the other two teams in this group. So the captain, Beka Shaginadze, he played his heart out, didn't he? The Georgian number 4. Great scrimmaging work. And they certainly are a threat, the Georgians. And they will look to the latter stages of the competition to cement their place in the top echelons of under-20s rugby. So here's the pool now then, as it stands. A bonus point for South Africa, courtesy of the 5 tries that they scored, and a bonus point for Georgia as well for coming within 7 points. And how close did they come to getting a second bonus point? Well, we'll never know. But there we are, France and Ireland, the other two teams in this pool, and they will play their opening match at 9 o'clock this evening, again here at the Stade Aimé Giral, the home of Perpignan Rugby. But for now, thank you for your company. Look forward to having it again, hopefully later on this evening, for that France-Ireland clash.
Argentine, c'était à Narbonne, match terminé il y a quelques minutes, la victoire de l'Angleterre 39-18 sur les Argentins, et l'Italie vient de l'emporter à l'instant face à l'Écosse. Du côté